see this much of an audience for our little sneak preview. My name is Bob Jacobs. I am very honored to be the director of the Jersey Surf. I'd like to welcome you to our first public unveiling of our new season. The Corps has been moved in to the beautiful campus of Delaware State University in Dover for the last 3.5 weeks. And our tour officially began yesterday when we broke spring training to start moving. So this is our first stop, and today is the grand unveiling. First time we've put on the new uniforms as a group. And what we're going to do tonight for you is kind of walk you through our 2018 production. After tonight, we start to prepare for a daily amount of action. We'll be doing about 10,000 miles over the next 6 weeks as we leave here. Our first show is Saturday night in Lexington, South Carolina. Sunday we'll be in Orlando, and then we're off to the races. We average about 350 miles a night. We rehearse during the day, travel at night, and then get into the next town, living in the lap of luxury, sleeping on gym floors, and rehearsing in stadiums like this as we move around the country. We are extraordinarily grateful for the assistance we've received from West Deptford, the Board of Education, and the music program, the administration of the high school. We're grateful to have Tom Kershaw, the band director, here as our program coordinator this year. I'm going to hand the mic over to Tom in a second so he can kind of talk a little bit with you about the show and what we're putting together here. But for all of us on the staff, the members, our administration, and the alumni, more than 3,000 people that have worn one version or another of the Jersey Surf uniform since we began in 1990. We thank you very, very much for helping us tonight. This will be by far the greatest propulsion of positive energy that we've had in all the years that we've done this. So thank you so much for honoring us by coming out this evening. Please, after we're done the performance tonight, feel free to talk to the members, or if you have any questions, we'll be happy to answer them for you. But thanks again very much, everyone, for stopping out to see us.
Mr. Jacobs, thank you. And I have a lot of the same sentiments. I really want to thank all of you for coming out on such a warm night, and we're going to definitely put it out there for you to see tonight. We have a lot of things to be proud of. The drum corps has been working so hard. And before we get started, there's just a couple people I'd like to thank as well. First, I'd like to thank the West Deptford, my bosses here, for allowing the Corps to come in and use all the facilities, and especially the grounds crew and people that really set this up for us. Second, we'd like to put a shout out to Cole's Music today, who today serviced a bunch of our brass instruments on the fly in emergency fashion. In about a half an hour, we had a couple of brass instruments fixed and in our hands again. So I know the owner of Cole's Music is out there, so thank you for that. I also want to thank my father-in-law, Rennie Lamb, who helped me build the props that you're looking at out on the field. He's out there tonight, and we had a small crew of people that were welding away all last week to get the structures built. And so with no further ado now, all right, let me present the 2018 Jersey Surf. So we have a couple of things we want to do for you tonight. First, we want to just present each section of the drum corps. All right, so this is one of my favorite ways to do it, to kind of introduce each section. We picked a part of the show. So we're going to introduce each section. So we're going to start with the battery. All right, and this is a part of our closing segment. And then we'll layer on each part of the drum corps as we go through, and then after that we'll set it up on the field. All right, and we'll take you through Mondo Mondrian, our 2018 program. So I'm going to turn it over to our battery caption head, Chris Lawler. All right, and very good. going to take that same, and now we're going to add the brass layer. And there's lots of things to see in here, definitely when we add this layer on. So, same thing. So at this time, we're not forgetting you, Color Guard, all right, but we're going to set top the show, and we're going to take you through our 2018 program, which is entitled Mondo Mondrian. And so while they're setting up, let me take a moment to tell you a little bit about the program. So Mondo Mondrian, all right, is based on a Dutch painter named Piet Mondrian. And if you see our prop artwork that's out there, that is very much the style of Piet Mondrian. And trust me, you've seen his work in lots of different places all throughout. You know, we see that style applied to a lot of different artwork, different graphics that we see, and in movies and things. So we drew inspiration from that. He definitely had the kind of concept of taking a thought or an image or a feeling and presenting it in its purest form. And so he used primary colors. He used bold, strong black lines to present his artwork. And even though it looks simple, he always had very deep meaning to it. And he always attached a very spiritual kind of thought to it, that if you look at anything, you can kind of take it and stress it down to its essential elements. And that's what he did with his art. So even though it looks very simple and very simplistic, there's a lot of meaning behind it, you know? And so we took those concepts and we applied it. And so we have taken each color that he's famous for using and employing, all right, which are primary base colors. So you'll see we have a prop structure that's red, a prop structure that's yellow, and a prop structure that's blue, all right, and they're the primary colors that he used all throughout his work. And so we decided to take that and attach musical selections that we feel, all right, kind of embodies that color, all right. So when the pour is, you know, involved with red, you know, we're going to try to convey red to you. All right, when we kind of go to the blue part of the show, we're going to convey blue. All right, so as we're setting up, which will just take another minute, all right, we'll take you through each part of the show one at a time and give you kind of the inspiration and the basis for it in just a minute. Let me take you through the first part of the show that you're going to see tonight. So in the introduction of the show, we establish the idea of Mondrian's work, and this idea of taking everything at its essence. All right, so he used these bold black lines, all right, and he felt that that was the simplest element, all right, and then he filled these black lines with color, all right. So the beginning of the show is all about the black line, all right, the essence of kind of things, the simplest form of something. So what you're going to hear, all right, is that same kind of idea presented musically, all right. So we start with the simplest element we could think of, all right, which was just simple rhythm. You're going to hear a pulse, a rhythm, all right. Used on a very simple instrument, a block of wood. Okay, so our opening kind of segment, we utilize actually a pretty contemporary piece by Steve Reich called Music for Pieces of Wood. All right, it's a very rhythmic piece that uses 5 tuned pieces of wood. All right, and then we layer over top of that a piece by Hans Zimmer from the movie Interstellar called Cornfield Chase. And we feel like this presents the mood. All right, so it's kind of, you know, out of chaos and out of the things that aren't structured, we build structure, right? And we're hoping you see that in the opening part. So here is part one of our 2018 program, Mondo Mondrian. So that's our introduction, all right? That's the black line. That's bold essence right there, all right? Starting from nothing, all right? We put it together and bring that to you, all right? And then we're off to the races, all right? Now we're going to get deep into Mondrian's work, okay? So the next section, all right, we're going to dissect his next main color, pretty much the color that's always the boldest of that he used, and it was red. So we're going to go into a whole movement of music for red, and we kind of took a pretty classic piece. It's been done a lot by drum corps, but not like this. All right, and this is Manuel de Falla's Ritual Fire Dance, arranged by Andrew Yosviak of Westchester University.
Let's get it.
we kind of have a little different approach tonight due to the weather and the heat that the drum corps spent their full day outside today. So we're kind of trying to break it up a little bit tonight. So we're going to give them a little water break, being our first time in uniform and running. So let me take you a little further into Mondo Mondrian. Through the entire program, we have one melodic theme that you probably don't even realize you've heard already. All right, and it's a hymn. All right. Praise God, from whom all blessings flow. All right, the doxology, yes. And so all throughout that, we've tied this connection of that from Pete Mondrian's work. All right, he really, again, there was a spiritual component that he felt attached to it. And so this is a little thread that we've decided will tie the whole show together. And so it's kind of like just one of those little hidden things that are kind of fun to see if you can recognize it. It's in there multiple times in multiple voices and multiple instrumentations. And if you can find it, it's probably in there at least 30, 40 times throughout the show. All right, and presented in a different way. And so something fun to do while you're listening. All right, so we're going to give them a break, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to take you on the journey into blue. To blue now, we're going to take you into blue, and we're going to change mood completely. Red was passionate, it was energetic, it was rhythmic. All right, so now blue, we're going to cool things down. All right, so we're going to use two pieces. One is the Revolutionary Etude by Frédéric Chopin. It's a piano solo piece, actually. So we've taken the melodic material from that, and it's kind of the prelude to this section. Then after that, it actually worked out quite well, although it seems like an unlikely pairing to go from Chopin to The Who. But we pair it with Behind Blue Eyes by The Who. And I think you'll find that the mood created is definitely going to, bring this calm, definitely a great contrast from what we just presented with Red. So here's Blue. right, and that brings us to our finale, all right, which we get to present the last color of Mondrian's normal palette, yellow. And for us, when we looked into the color yellow, we kept thinking of the word joy. And so we were looking around for music that kind of fit this, and we came up with a lot of composers like John Rutter, Curial, that have joyful music. And so actually we wound up kind of creating our own. So the actual part that we consider yellow is actually written by Andrew Yoziak, our brass arranger, and so it's original music. After that, we get into bringing everything together, all right, and that is we tie everything together with David Maslanka's Symphony No. 4, all right, it's kind of the finale, and that's where, when the only time in the show we present the chorale, the doxology chorale, in its fullest glory. All right, we bring out all the colors, and we want it to be the most joyful part of the show. It's definitely my favorite so far. So here's our finale of Mondo Mondrian. Very excited about this program. We're excited to take it on the road. We're excited to keep working on it and really bring it to the highest level possible. And we're really digging in and loving it. I got another couple shout outs. First, got to thank all the staff, all the instructional staff, all of our admin staff who've gotten us through great spring training, right? And put this front court together, right? Great provision is awesome. Thank you all for coming out tonight. And just as another thank you, down at the concession stand area, we do have water ice. So if you would like to partake in water ice, please come down and help yourselves. All right, at the concession stand area. Outside that, we hope to see you down on the DCI tour somewhere. Thank you very much for coming, everybody.